After the reported strike in Jordan, has Iran now targeted a US military base in another Gulf nation, opening a dangerous new chapter in the escalating conflict? Is the Qeshm strike now being avenged, as Iran reportedly targets a US airbase in what could be a major act of retaliation? Mojtaba Khamenei's armed forces have reportedly opened a new front against the United States, signaling a further expansion of the ongoing confrontation. Operation Thunderbolt appears to be continuing, with Tehran reportedly targeting US military facilities as tensions between the two sides continue to escalate. Iran said it targeted key facilities at the US-run Ahmad al-Jaber Air Base in Kuwait, describing the operation as a significant strike against what it called an important American military installation in the region. The Iranian army said the strike was carried out as part of the 27th phase of Operation Thunderbolt, presenting it as the latest stage in its ongoing military campaign. According to the Iranian army, loitering drones were used during the latest operation, with the military claiming the unmanned systems were deployed to carry out precision strikes on designated targets. Tehran claimed the drones targeted aircraft shelters at Ahmad al-Jaber Air Base, alleging that the facilities were being used to support US military and aerial operations. Iran also said satellite communication systems were among the targets, claiming the operation was intended to disrupt critical military communications and surveillance capabilities. Equipment storage facilities were also targeted during the operation, according to the Iranian statement, which said multiple military assets were included in the list of objectives. The Iranian army described Ahmad al-Jaber Air Base as a key hub for US air and surveillance operations, alleging that it plays a central role in supporting American military activities across the region. It said the base plays a major role in supporting US military operations in the Middle East, claiming it serves as an important center for logistics, reconnaissance, and operational coordination. Tehran said the attack was carried out in retaliation for recent US strikes inside Iran, presenting the operation as a response to what it described as American military aggression. Iran linked the operation to a reported US airstrike on a residential home on Qeshm Island, claiming the latest action was a direct response to that alleged attack. Tehran also said the United States had been conducting strikes in southern Iran since earlier this month, accusing Washington of expanding its military operations in the region. Iran accused Washington of violating the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, alleging that recent US actions breached commitments outlined under the agreement. At the time Iran released its statement, US officials had not publicly commented on the claims, and there was no immediate response from Washington regarding the allegations. Iran's parliament speaker strongly condemned a reported US airstrike on Qeshm Island, calling it a serious escalation and expressing strong criticism over the alleged military action. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf accused the United States of targeting residential homes in the Char Tangu area, saying that the strike put civilian lives and local communities at significant risk. He described the reported strike as a continuation of what he called US atrocities against Iran, claiming it reflected an ongoing pattern of hostile actions directed at the country. In a post on X, Ghalibaf said the United States soils its hands with a new crime every day, using the statement to sharply criticize Washington's actions and reiterate his condemnation of the reported attack. In his post, Iran's parliament speaker said, and I quote, "The United States soils its hands with a new crime every day. The terrorist attack on the residential homes of civilians on Qeshm Island is a continuation of the atrocities in Minab and Lamad. Americans have grown accustomed to making up for the slaps they receive on the battlefield by spilling the blood of the innocent. They will pay the price." Unquote. Iran's parliament speaker linked the US strike to earlier incidents in Minab and Lamad, suggesting that the latest development was part of a broader series of confrontations between the two countries. Ghalibaf claimed that the United States attempts to compensate for what he described as battlefield slaps by targeting civilians, accusing Washington of shifting its focus toward non-military targets. The Iranian official warned that the United States will pay the price for its actions, delivering a strong statement that indicated further consequences could follow from the reported strike. Iran said such attacks demonstrate what it called the terrorist nature of US actions, arguing that these incidents reflect a pattern of aggression against Iranian interests and civilians. Ghalibaf said Iran's armed forces continue to target military objectives and US bases, maintaining that their operations are focused on strategic locations rather than civilian areas. Iran claimed that the United States had turned to attacks on civilians after facing battlefield setbacks, alleging that military difficulties led Washington to adopt a different approach. The exchange of accusations comes amid continued high tensions between Washington, D.C. and Tehran, with both sides trading sharp statements as regional conflicts and security concerns remain unresolved. Iran's Qatar al-Anbiya Central Headquarters chief issued a sharp warning to the United States on July 30th, escalating Tehran's rhetoric amid continuing regional tensions. Major General Ali Abdullahi claimed U.S. forces have now realized that coffins are part of their equipment, describing it as the new reality facing American troops in the region. Major General Ali Abdullahi said, and I quote, "The Americans and their mercenaries have today realized deep in their souls that their coffins are part of their equipment in the region," unquote. The commander said the remark reflects what he described as the harsh reality now confronting U.S. forces operating across the strategically vital Gulf region. The Qatar al-Anbiya Central Headquarters chief also repeated a statement previously attributed to Iran's late supreme leader while reinforcing Tehran's military posture. Major General Ali Abdullahi declared that the era of strike and escape has ended, repeating the warning during remarks carried by Press TV. Abdullahi warned that any future miscalculation by the United States would invite severe consequences and a forceful military response from Iran. The commander claimed Iranian forces inflicted heavy losses on their enemies despite facing technologically superior weapons and advanced military capabilities. Abdullahi also claimed that modern military technology and hybrid warfare tactics ultimately failed to weaken or overcome Iran's defensive and combat capabilities. Iran said its armed forces remain fully prepared to respond immediately and decisively to any threat directed against the country's sovereignty or territorial integrity. Abdullahi claimed that any hostile action against Iran would be answered with what he described as a decisive and regret-inducing response. The general also claimed the United States and its allies have been forced to reassess the true cost of initiating any new military confrontation with Iran. He further described the continued U.S. military presence across the region as illegal, according to remarks carried by Press TV. Iran maintained that the continued deployment of American forces in the region only increases the strategic and military costs for what it called aggressors. Tehran also warned that U.S. military bases and deployed forces would remain vulnerable in the event of any future regional conflict. The latest warning comes as tensions across the Middle East remain high following months of conflict, military exchanges, and continued regional instability.